about 15 minutes or so left in today's edition of the show. We're pleased to be joined to cap off the show by Debra Levantrosser. She is the owner of Shimmy Shack, Veg American restaurant and food truck in Plymouth. Debra, thanks for being with us today.
Hey, Tyler. Hey, everybody. It's so good to see you. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate having you on, Debra. So tell us about Shimmy Shack. What can people expect at your restaurant and food truck?
So Shimmy Shack, and we like to shimmy. So Tyler, can you give us a shimmy?
Of course.
There you go.
Yes.
So we are 100% vegan and 100% gluten-free, and we've been in business for 9 years. And the restaurant has been in business for 2.5. And so we started with the food truck, and I thought, well, are people ready to eat this kind of food? And sure enough, with all the awards we've received over the years and recently, they definitely are ready to eat this food, and they're eating this food. So we make things like burgers, fries, shakes, chili, nachos, cookies, conies, pies, casseroles, cakes, cupcakes, all vegan, all gluten-free. And you can also find our baked goods in about 20 different stores in the area. So people might be wondering, what is vegan? I'm not sure if you want me to answer that question, Tyler.
Yeah, please.
So vegan means is not the same as plant-based. So plant-based is a term that's come about recently. So vegan means that we don't eat anything that comes from an animal. So that means we don't eat any meat, we don't eat any dairy, we don't eat any milk or eggs. A lot of us don't eat honey. A lot of us don't eat, we try to stay away from candies that might have gelatin or vitamins that have gelatin in them. So really anything that comes from an animal, we stay away from. And then the gluten-free piece is, a lot of people have celiac disease now or allergies. And so we don't use anything from wheat, barley, rye, or oats.
We're joined by Debra Levantrosser. She is the owner of Shimmy Shack, Veg American restaurant and food truck in Plymouth. And Debra, you've been vegan for 31 years. What ultimately led you to decide to open a vegan American restaurant and food truck?
So Tyler, it was really because I couldn't find anything to eat when I went to concerts or fairs or any kind of event, really, even a farmer's market. You know, our choices were pretty slim. And so I said, well, it was cheaper to start a food truck than a restaurant and to test the market. So we tested the market with the food truck and definitely decided that people were ready to eat this. And so that's when we opened up the restaurant.
And so how has business changed over the last, since you've been opening, since you've opened Shimmy Shack? Because vegans become much more common, much more popular in recent years, and there's more options available now for people.
That is very true, and we are really happy about that because people are vegan for many different reasons. It could be allergies, it could be religion, it could be for health, it could be for animals, it could be for compassion, it could be for peace, it could be for your health, the environment. There's so many reasons why people are vegan, and we've seen a steady business. So definitely steady over the last 9 years. Obviously, we're still in business. We were profitable after the first year. So we had a lot of demand even that first year. And then over the last couple of years, I have to admit the restaurant business is a little harder than a food truck, that's for sure, because you got to get people to come to you instead of you going to them with the food truck. And then, of course, the pandemic hit right after we opened. So it kind of forced us to pivot in different ways than I'm sure we wouldn't have if the pandemic had not hit.
We're joined by Debra Levantrosser. She is the owner of Shimmy Shack, Veg American restaurant and food truck in Plymouth, joining us today on the MegaCast. And you mentioned your food truck. It allows your business to go to people and get business in a number of different places instead of just simply in a brick and mortar store. So where can people find more information about where they can next find the Shimmy Shack food truck?
So our website is a really good place to start. So shimmyshack.com has our truck locations. You can also order food on there, and you can make special orders on there, like all of our casseroles, cakes, cupcakes, You can do all of that on our website. All of our recent videos are on the website as well. Now we are on Facebook and Instagram at Eat Shimmy Shack. So we usually post on Facebook where we're going to be that particular week, and we're having a fall brunch with house-made donuts, cinnamon sugar donuts and pumpkin spice donuts on October 24th. Tickets are now on sale, and you get a huge plate of food, some donuts and some cider. And we're also going to have live music. We're going to have vendors. So it'll be a fun day, October 24th.
Providing food that tastes good, but also some things that look good over at Shimmy Shack. Debra, in the past, you have released a calendar each year with Michigan's sexiest vegans. Do you plan to release Michigan's sexiest vegan calendar from Shimmy Shack in 2022?
Yes, we just finished shooting it in August. It is now at the printer. And so we're calling it now Michigan's Sassiest Vegans. Ooh. And we had our biggest showing yet of amateur models and some who have modeling experience, but they're all customers who just want to have some fun. It is such a fun day to come and dress up and drink and get in front of the camera and just have a lot of fun. So it goes on sale in a couple of weeks. And we'd love for you guys to support us by purchasing a calendar. And it's super fun. Yeah, so we're definitely coming out with a 2022 calendar.
And if you want to support support Shimmy Shack's calendar for the 2022's Sassiest Vegans in the state of Michigan. Learn more information on shimmyshack.com. We're joined by Shimmy Shack owner Debra Levantrosser. She is the owner, of course, of Shimmy Shack, Veg American restaurant and food truck located in Plymouth. And now you mentioned earlier that some of your products are in stores throughout the local area. Shimmy cookies are now in 7 stores. What is so great about these Shimmy cookies that people and retailers love so much?
Yeah, so we have 7 varieties of cookies. We have 3 varieties of bars. We now have a pumpkin chocolate chip bread with an icing on top, and we are in 20 stores. So the Westbourne markets, the Zerbos markets, and then a lot of like coffee shop type places. So if you go to our website, shimmyshack.com, you can see a list of all of the places where you can find our yummy cookies. And I mean, Tyler, the answer to your question is because they're just amazing. They taste really, really good. I mean, if you didn't tell somebody that there were no eggs in there, that there was no butter, and there was no milk, you wouldn't know it. You would not know it. So they really taste amazing, and they sell out every week.
We're joined by Debra Levantrosser, the owner of Shimmy Shack Veg American restaurant and food truck that is located out of Plymouth. And Debra, how has your approach to a vegan restaurant, to a vegan food truck business changed over the years? Because like we mentioned earlier, the options that have been available for people in terms of vegan food has certainly increased over the last several years as this option for people's diets has become more popular, and as more people have decided to become vegan, either for moral reasons, for health reasons, whatever the case may be. So how has that changed your approach to providing these vegan options at Shimmy Shack?
Well, and I also wanted to mention that we don't just serve vegans.
Okay.
So we serve a lot of people who are omnivores, who eat meat, fish, and they just love our food. So I don't want you to think, everybody that's watching this, that you have to be vegan to eat at Shimmy Shack. We have probably the best falafel wrap in Southeast Michigan. That's what we've been told. We make our own garlic sauce, etc. So back to your question about what have we done to change, I think vegans now expect more than just burgers. Burgers have been around, but veggie burgers have been around for about 30 years since I've been vegan. So they certainly are demanding more choices. And so that's what we're trying to give them. So during the pandemic, we had to pivot and we pivoted to casseroles, ready to bake casseroles. And so now we have 6 varieties of different casseroles. You just pop them in the oven and you are ready to go. And you can support a small business while you're doing it. And you can order everything online. So that's really how I think we've pivoted. And then also with the food truck, we've expanded some options on the food truck as well, to give people more options.
We're joined by Debra Levantrosser. She is the owner of Shimmy Shack restaurant and food truck located out of Plymouth. And Debra, just have another few minutes with you today. And so you mentioned that, of course, your restaurant doesn't just serve people that are vegan, but also others that are just seeking for different food options or want to try some vegan options as well. For people that are interested in incorporating parts of a vegan diet or an entire vegan diet or lifestyle into their daily lifestyle, how do you best suggest that they approach that? Because for some people it can be a really harsh transition from their current lifestyle to a vegan lifestyle, and for others they just want to incorporate a little bit of that into their monthly routine to either help out the environment a little bit, help out our animal population a little bit, or improve their health slightly and kind of ease their way into a vegan lifestyle. What steps do you suggest people take if they're interested in living a more vegan lifestyle, or just are interested in vegan eating or vegan living?
So first of all, try Meatless Monday. So Meatless Monday has sort of become a thing. So maybe on Mondays, don't eat meat. There's a lot of different options that you can use nowadays that didn't exist 30 years ago that can substitute for that sort of maybe thickness or texture that you're looking for to make you feel full. So I personally like tofu. I know a lot of people don't like tofu, but I've eaten that for 30 years, so I love it. But there's a lot of meat substitutes out there now that you think you're eating meat. So I would try Meatless Mondays for sure. And there's a lot of great recipes now out on the internet. So whether it's Instagram or whether it's bloggers that you read, or just go out to one of the bookstores and buy some books. Smoothies are another great way to maybe change up your breakfast or change up your snacks. You can sneak in a lot of really good vegetables and fruit just by buying a blender or a Vitamix or even a food processor that you might have, and increasing it that way. Now, I know when I say eat a salad, people are like, eat a salad. That's just like lettuce and tomatoes and carrots. You can do so much with salads. At home, I'll steam vegetables, I'll get some chickpeas, and I'll just mix it all together, and it becomes like a really thick and hearty salad, not like one of those that you get at a chain restaurant. But salads have changed a lot over the years. Another way to do it is just leave the meat out of something. So if you're gonna have spaghetti one night at home, just don't make it with meat sauce, make it with marinara sauce or meatless sauce. So those are some ways. And then also, veggie burgers are not hard to make. Our recipes are online. You can make some of our burgers. You can go to the frozen food section in stores and pick up some pizzas, like cauliflower crust pizzas with vegan cheese, things like that. It's so easy now, Tyler, to eat vegan. 30 years ago, it wasn't.
Debra, we appreciate your time and appreciate your insight about eating vegan, about living vegan, taking some of those steps, as well as telling us about your restaurant, Shimmy Shack. Thanks for being with us today.
Thanks, Tyler. Appreciate it. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Debra.
Shimmy.